ladies and gentlemen.
Let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports.
Can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Yes! Here we go! I guess I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my pants.
Oh, yeah. Welcome into the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. I am Colby Sapp, along with the guy that's in the booth tweaking buttons and twisting nipples. Maybe one, maybe the other. I don't know. It's IndyCarTim. What's up, Tim?
What's up, Colby?
Man, a whole lot of everything, by the way. If you would like to go ahead and comment with us or text us on our phones, it's the text line. The FanStream Sports text line is 214-937-0569. You can do that. Comment down below on the video you're watching. If you're listening to this recorded podcast, remember, we love you.
Do we, though?
You're supposed to let at least a little bit of a pause there.
Oh.
Now you can ask, do we?
Do we, though?
I mean, yeah, probably. So we've got a lot of stuff to get into on tonight's show. We've got the Super Bowl recap and how twisted and tired Tim is of Taylor Swift. And that was a lot of T's in a row, ladies and gentlemen, that I just uttered out of my mouth. We do have the good, bad, and the ugly, so stick around for your famous birthdays as we rate them. Who's the good person, the bad person, the ugly person? I've got a mystery shotgun, and we're going to go over some of the movie trailers that you saw during the Super Bowl, if you watched them, and how excited am I for a couple of them that I didn't even know were coming out. Yes, things hit me from sideways, too, because I just wasn't keeping my radar open for a couple of these. And, ladies and gentlemen, they're upon us. Mavs trade deadline talk will probably happen because team looks really good now, and then I've got news and notes. But before we get into all in that, or all of that.
All in that?
All in that. Man, it's a new catchphrase. I'm going to do a T-shirt. It's going to be just say all in that. And then they'll sell like 4 of them.
Put it on a donut.
Things sell better on a donut.
It's true.
Except for that one guy in the Acura that passed me on the freeway that one time.
That did not go well.
No. All right. So I was perusing the internets, as I do, as I like to look for weird and whatever stories. And as I was doing so, I came across a podcast that I knew existed, but never really had the complete and utter interest to just dive in totally, because I figured my brain would just fall off of its hinge and I would never get it back. But I did.
Because you don't like stuff like this.
No, I do like stuff like this.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
I know. It's history. Science I'm down with.
Okay.
History I'm not down with because, well, stupid.
It's fun.
Yeah, this guy did this thing back then. Well, cool, man.
I feel like you're minimalizing history a little bit.
That's cool. What's he doing today?
I might have just made up a word.
But, so, Neil deGrasse Tyson? DeGrasse?
He's not a Canadian teenager. He doesn't go to Degrassi High School.
I think that's where that throws me off. So he does he does a podcast, and I'm going to do my best to utter the facts that he uttered in this podcast, because I'm going to tell you right now, staring at my phone with his mouth moving, my brain just about fell off of the hinge. It rolled out the little hole in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
I had trouble finding it. It blew my mind.
Oh, no.
So what he said in this podcast was that you have the negative charged parts of a atom, neuron, whatever you want to call them, right? That's these things. I think it's a neuron, but I think they also changed that because of the brain spark, whatever.
Probably.
Anyway.
God, I'm already lost.
I'm not caught up. So it's the negative charge particles, right? So you take them and you remove neutrons. You remove them from the actual atom itself. By doing so, they now have a 6-minute lifespan. They have 6 minutes that they can be on this earth before they deteriorate into nothing.
Without their cohorts inside the atom.
Right.
Okay.
So they took these things and they threw them, a bunch of them, into a particle accelerator. And by doing so, they fired it up and let it run. And it ran for 6 minutes. It ran for 12 minutes. It ran for a good period of time, and then pulled them out. They were fine. Then later, after the 6 minutes of accumulative time of being out of the particle accelerator, they deteriorated. But the mind-blowing thing is while they were going near light speed, time stopped.
Okay. Stop it.
Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. Also, basically, when they came out of that damn thing for time stopping, they were in the future.
So what are you trying to say here? What's old Neil saying?
He not saying anything, just gave that information. But my brain goes, wait a second. We stopped time? Because that's literally what happened.
For the subatomic particles, right?
Okay, baby steps on this whole...
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just clarifying.
Right. It's not like it stopped time everywhere else.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that burned my brain about. Watching Star Trek, when they go light speed, what's happening to them now? Like what any science fiction that you've ever watched before in your entire life, and something goes light speed and they're able to be okay light speed, does that mean time stops for them too? Or should have stopped for them too?
I mean, because sometimes they're at light speed for extended periods, right? Like when they're trying to go far.
Yes. So that was one place my brain went. The other place is now how do we go light speed? And can that stop time for us? And is that the future of time travel?
Huh.
This stuff, it doesn't sound like it's popping you like it popped me, because my brain was like, time travel has always been one of those things. It's like, yeah, they make it up in the movies, but there's no chance anything.
See, I've heard all of this before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my first time hearing it. So your brain's already defunct and then came back from it.
So, yeah, now I didn't have the same thought that you did with going like when people travel at the speed of light, which obviously we can't do in real life yet. I don't know. I think that there's people like him, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, saying that that's impossible physically for your body to do that and survive.
Right.
And what's interesting is you were talking about how they do it in movies. So, for instance, Star Trek, they talk about warp factor, right? Warp factor 1. Which is their slowest warp factor, is 1 times the speed of light, right?
We're just going to go the speed of light now.
But so warp 2 and warp 3, that's not 2 and 3 times the speed of light. That's not how it works. So warp 2 is the equivalent of 8 times the speed of light.
Oh, okay.
Warp 3 is equivalent to 27 times the speed of light.
You got to get there quick.
So it's like, yeah, the variations of it are far beyond just going 2 or 3 times the speed of light, like in the movies, right? But yeah, I have heard this with the particle accelerators and all that. I think they did that at CERN, or the particle accelerator they used for that. Remember when we had one of those down here?
Yes, I do. But I never took the time to read about what was going on, because it usually turned my mind off because they were using, words that were too big for me to understand. It's like, man, I got to look up every single word in this particular paragraph. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was quite a deal, and then they'd already spent billions of dollars on it, and then they shut it down, so they never finished it down here.
So my next question is on all this is all right, so when are we going to be able to map the whole entire human body to break it down into particles and make it back again? Because
so beam me up, Scotty.
That's the next step, right? Is that you just instead of making it to where you can survive light speed, just make it to where your particles will.
So to me, that seems more doable than traveling at the speed of light.
Right.
Like, to me, I think we're closer to that, to breaking down a human body or any living organism, breaking it down to the cellular level and transmitting it electronically to another spot and then reassembling it.
How goofball is just the thought of us two meatheads trying to discuss quantum physics on a podcast based on sports. And I just wanted to go back to the stupidity of what's happening right now in this camera.
But we sound pretty intelligent, though.
I mean, because it's only yours and my voice. Nobody else,
true.
everybody else is probably watching this is like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
What are they talking
in my
about?
entire life. These words don't even need to come out of these boys' voices right now.
Dude, we got to get Neil on.
We do. I mean, there's a lot of people we need to get on.
But where would he be?
Right. He's okay. He's highly ranked. You imagine how, I mean, because we'll ask the dumbest, stupidest questions to him.
And he would answer them.
And he'll come up with the right answer. Of course, it's the right answer. God, he's too smart.
I mean, if you've seen him on Rogan's show,
Right.
he asks him some pretty dumbass questions.
Yes.
And he was always happy to just come right back with an answer.
So that may be in line with, I'll have to put him down like number 4 or 5 in my dream guest scenario, but he's somewhere in there.
Where would Taylor Swift be in your dream guest scenario?
Taylor's, I don't know, like 25, 30?
I don't know how many numbers we have in our list, right, of dream guest scenarios.
Right.
But whatever that number is, she would be last for me.
No, there'd be some questions I would need to ask her. There would be some questions like, so how do you go from you write songs about bad breakups to billionaire? I know there's steps in between, but how do you do, because I want to do that.
I just want the billionaire part.
I'll do that. I'll write songs about stuff, and that's amazing. I know people love to, like, shout her down or whatever. Man, I don't like her music. Don't get me started. You go listen to any of my choices on like YouTube Music. You'll understand. That's nowhere near my music whatsoever. But I can respect the hell out of somebody that games the system so hard that you become the system.
Yeah.
So
I might be out.
yeah, because you've got to be cool. You're cool, Tim, and everything
I am cool.
everything that's super cool or starts to be too cool, you're like, I'm out. You're not ahead of like Skin on being out on things, because as soon as somebody else knows who this band is he's talking about, Skin's out.
He's out, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, because if he were to walk into a grocery store and somebody be like, oh yeah, I checked out Skin Flint's Hooter Nozzle the other day and they were great. And he's like, crap, now I've got to not like Skin Flint's Hooter Nozzle because somebody else likes
I got to dump all my albums of them now.
That's right. So there you go.
Lord.
So that's the intro to today's show. Yes, we have sports and comics and all that coming to you, but my brain had to fart that out for a little bit. But
we talked quantum physics on the show.
We did.
Intelligently, kind of.
We did. You know who I would love to have a quantum physics conversation with?
Who?
Gerb.
God. Do you think he could?
No, that's what's going to be fun about it.
And every time he misinterprets something, he has to take a bite of a candy bar that he's never had before.
Yeah, which would be all of them.
Yeah.
Except for like what? A Snickers. He had a bite of a Snickers one time. So there you go. So now's the part of the show where I stare at the camera and then look over here and go, hey, Tim.
Hey, Colby.
What day is it?
Or wait, what was your new nickname? I forgot from last week. What did I call you?
I don't know. Brian Boitano. If you had
Brian Boitano, where did that come from?
If you had Brian Boitano on your Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show bingo card, you win.
What in the world?
My brain works in mysterious ways.
Brian Boitano. It was like the Gooch or the Mooch or something. What was I calling you last week?
You're going to have to think of it, or else the nickname didn't stick, man.
Damn it. I'll have to go back and listen.
You forgot.
I did forget. Colby, it is Monday, February 12th. It is post-Super Bowl Sunday, which is still weird that they played in February now. I'm still not used to that. It's kind of bizarre.
I mean, it's not. It's happened for a while.
Oh, I know. It's a January thing for me in my brain. In my IndyCarTim brain. Today is, out of all of the weird days, Colby, we do have quite a few of those. As I get to my top of my page here, it is National Darwin Day.
It explains one of the guys in my Good, Bad, and Ugly birthdays.
Yep, I figured that you had him on there probably. How about National Clean Out Your Computer Day?
That should be You know what? For a lot of us, that should be like every day.
Do you delete your browser history? Speaking of cleaning out your computer.
I think maybe I trust the incognito mode too much.
Yeah, that'll bite you. You got to watch out.
So, because every time I go to a browser now, it's not even to look up anything scandalous or to find porn. It's just incognito.
Yep. And you share a computer, right, at your house? Do you all have your own ones?
Well, no, there's that computer. That computer's not used for anything but that computer stuff, right? So I don't even I think I've been on the internet on that computer like twice.
Oh, wow.
So.
Colby, it is, and tell me if you're a fan of this particular state over in the East. Today is National Georgia Day.
I'm not a fan. I could give a shit.
I've been to Atlanta several times, and I will tell you I am not a fan of Atlanta.
I don't, it's right there with Idaho. I don't care.
I like Idaho.
I just don't care. It's like, oh, I'm going to Idaho. Well, cool.
Gross. Get you some potatoes.
I don't know what to tell you to do in Idaho, but cool.
Go ask Leighton Vander Esch. He's from Idaho, right?
I mean, I've got things that like California, New York, the Virginias, Florida. Like, that'll be like, hey, or Tennessee. I'm like, okay, cool.
Huh.
I think of something to do there. Can't think of anything to do in Georgia.
I mean
I'm sure
Augusta's there.
I'm sure it's great.
I mean, don't be so sure. Don't give it too many props too quickly, Colby.
Well,
it's still Georgia. Something that we should have done before we started the show, Colby.
What's that?
Because today is National Hug Day.
No, not hugging you.
Share warmth and love by hugging a loved one or a stranger today. Would you rather hug me or a stranger?
Like I'm never going to see this person again?
Probably.
Yeah, probably a stranger.
I don't blame you. I'd rather hug a stranger than me, too. Colby, another with the weird ones with a dark tone. And I'm sure there are countries where this is applicable.
Okay.
Today is International Day Against the Use of Child Soldiers Day.
Wow. You have to have a day for it. How about we just not do that?
Like ever, right?
Yeah, just never don't have a day that reminds people not to do that. First of all, if you need to be reminded not to do that, then you're a bad person. Just bad. I mean, I understand you're in a war-torn country or whatever and you ran out of soldiers and now the kids have to pick up arms. Okay, well, your cause is gone. Find some place to go. And if you can't find some place to go, dig a hole. Just dig a hole.
And so my second question would be, do you think the countries that utilize child soldiers are going to recognize this day and not do it for one day? Or are they probably just going to ignore it?
They just hand out pamphlets.
Yeah.
Hey, today you're not going to war.
Huh. Interesting.
Put your gun down, Timmy.
Little Timmy.
Okay. Tee-hee-hee. Why was Timmy the Pillsbury Doughboy?
So fat. Colby, it's International Epilepsy Day, so go out and get you some epilepsy.
No, that's not what it means.
That's not what that means? That's weird.
Just National Be Aware Day.
It's one of the world's oldest known diseases. I don't think I know what it is. Like, I'm familiar with that it exists, but I don't think I know what it does.
It's like the seizures and the shaking,
right?
And all that that goes along with epilepsy. It's
it's also.
I just may have just belittled what it is, and I apologize.
I mean, I was trying to stay away from it, but you do you, boo.
You halfway making a joke about stuff. I was trying to get serious for a second, but I think I ended up being seriously wrong.
You were seriously wrong. If you know any Bradens, go give them a hug because it's National Braden Day.
Don't ever hug a Braden.
Don't hug a Braden?
No. Their mama misspelled Brendan.
No, nobody would name their kid Brendan.
Yes.
That's just dumb. They misspelled Brandon.
No, they just didn't want. They knew a Brandon that was an ass. They're like, no.
Close but no cigar.
Right.
Colby, it is also. National Freedom to Marry Day. Oh, this must be for same-sex marriages. Because why would anybody that's not of the same sex want to get married?
I mean, there's things.
Ugh.
You've done it a few times. You know.
Not on purpose.
Yes, you did it on purpose.
So happy National Freedom to Marry Day.
Congratulations.
How about National Lost Penny Day? And I don't mean penny from the Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Talking about a coin here.
So we should try to go pick lost.
Roll up your sleeves and search the nooks and crannies. You might find a lost penny.
Is it going to thank you when you like pick it up?
I mean, it's not going to get you anything unless you got at least 99 more of them.
Right. And that's not going to get you much.
Now, Colby, here's something I've never heard of before, and I don't know where I stand on this. I guarantee you're going to have an opinion, though.
Okay.
Today is National Plum Pudding Day.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, do you like plums?
I do.
It's just
But I can't imagine it like in a pudding.
So, okay. So you never had like a fruit-flavored pudding before? It's like a pie filling.
No. Like I've had strawberry puree or whatever, like on things.
It's like, think of the middle of like a lemon meringue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not chocked full of lemons. It's just got the lemon flavor
Right.
with the sweetness. Well, just now change that out and add the word plum.
I might be into that. I'd at least try it because I do like plums. Oddly enough. Colby, today is National Oatmeal Monday.
I did not have oatmeal this morning.
I did have oatmeal, and I didn't know it was National Oatmeal Day. How you like that?
Huh.
Brown sugar cinnamon, baby.
Mine's in a big tube on top of the refrigerator that I just scoop out and add stuff to.
You probably put fruit and stuff in yours too, don't you?
Normally, I'll do, like the no sugar applesauce.
Yeah.
Throw that in there with a little bit of cinnamon. We're good to go. Maybe probably some vanilla protein powder. Cause that's what I do.
Kobe, it is National Red Hand Day.
You got caught doing something?
It just says you're supposed to paint your hand red and raise your voice against using children in wars. So it's another one of those, don't let your kids fight your battles for you.
I just thought you just raised it up and like, I did it. Got caught red-handed.
I mean, that's weird, right?
I mean, you know what? Cool. I mean, sure. If somebody were to like raise their red hand up and it's just oddly painted red, I would not know what that meant.
No.
Just
And I'll probably forget as soon as this show's over.
And just standing in a crowd and there's a 1 or 4 or 10 people. Now I think I'm in the middle of a cult somehow.
Colby, it is, we're saving that one for last. How about National Sick of Food Waste Day?
Yeah, I'm that person.
I don't like to waste food either.
I will go remake a meal out of stuff that's like, because it's been in there a couple days, third day, it's not going to be great. Need to do something with it now, and I'll make something out of it that's like, here. And usually everybody else is like, oh, hey, well, this is good. What'd you make it out of? Stuff y'all still left in the refrigerator.
So there's a network I get on my YouTube TV. It's called Taste Network.
Uh-huh.
It's like a poor man's, cooking network or food network or whatever.
Right.
And they have a regular show on there called Struggle Meals.
I'm a fan of the struggle meal.
And it's this dude literally showing you how to make cheap meals. And they're all healthy, healthy. And they're like, it's crap like you have been telling me about,
Right.
that you can put these things together to make this and that. It's super, super interesting because I love that stuff. But they'll tell you at the end of this meal he made a salad, he made a main dish, and he made a dessert. And literally the entire thing cost like $1.87 a person.
Right.
And then he'll keep track. But one of their segments is sometimes somebody will text in or email him in, given a list of ingredients they have in their fridge. What can I make out of these? Like, this is all I have. So he'll go reproduce those ingredients, and then make something exquisite out of those things. Like, well, there's something you can make, and then he'll grade it. Like, sometimes they're not good, and he'll go, okay, yeah, that sucked.
Right.
Don't make that. But it's pretty cool. It's a really interesting concept, too. But the host is really cool.
Speaking of food items, just real quick, had an experience that I haven't ever had.
Uh-oh.
So, Sybil went and saw her hung out with her mom and sang her because of stuff going on and what have you and whatnot. And she sends me a text that says, "Oh, by the way, go check the mailbox. There's something in there." It's like, okay. I went out and got the mail, and there was a package inside the mailbox, so I grabbed it. Got back to the house, opened it up. It was Mexican peanut butter.
Why do they have their own?
It was amazing.
What's different about it, I wonder?
Sweet. Do not read the calories on the back of it. It's
I was going to say,
incredible.
surprised you liked it then.
Well, here's the thing. I am a big, huge, just give me a jar of peanut butter. Leave me alone. But,
Vomit.
man, so I grabbed this stuff and I toasted some bread and put some of it on it. And I was like, oh, this is bad. Somebody needs to come get this now. I'm going to eat this whole damn jar. I read the jar, and if you ate the jar, it was somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000 calories.
Good God.
Yeah, I was like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to do that. That's dumb.
Holy mother of God.
I couldn't eat today.
That would kill you. Jesus, that's your calorie intake for the week.
Well, no, that's about, it'd be a day and a half that I did not have any food.
Jeez.
So,
And then finally, Colby, today, maybe the most important day. Well, I love that there's a day for this, as it is National, bring the music down here. National Poop Day, Colby.
we needed a day.
It's the day to celebrate one of the body's most important functions.
Well, I mean, if you don't poop, you're going to feel bad.
I mean, you're going to die, right?
Yeah, at some
Eventually.
point. But they have a day celebrating pooping.
And I tell you what, this came perfect timing for me because I've been having some questionable gut issues recently.
Okay, you're off track a little bit.
Yeah. And
All
I've never
right.
had the healthiest gut because, well, you've seen how I eat
Right.
and drink. But I've been having some serious issues, and I actually had to see a doctor.
Uh-oh.
So the doctor said, okay, Metamucil. So I'm doing Metamucil twice a day now. I'm also taking probiotics, which are just carving everything up down there.
Yelp.
And I woke up this morning. Of course, we had the big Super Bowl party with Katie and Jason's out in Roanoke yesterday. And dude, this morning I thought my gut, I was just pooping out my entire gut. Like it was all coming out all at once, like a plumbing special.
You're almost to the you were past hover mode and
Oh, yeah.
jetpack. You were just glued.
Yeah, wasn't great.
So hey, celebrate your poop day.
Hey Colby, we got David Burns watching from Cedar Hill. Hello, David. Welcome to the show.
What's up, man?
Appreciate you tuning in here with us. We're sorry we're talking about gut health and stuff. It's not usually what we do. Well, actually, yeah, it is.
I mean, that's not correct.
It's what we do around here. So anyway, there's your, what day is it today?
Shout out to the chill. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Colby, we just mentioned Super Bowl.
Yep.
Your Chiefs. By the way, this is, so the first time in 6,945 days do we have a repeat Super Bowl winner.
Well, thank God. I did not want San Francisco to win that thing whatsoever.
No, and what many are calling one of the greatest Super Bowls ever.
I mean, it went into extra time. Then you're looking at a team marching down, then they only get a field goal, and most of San Francisco didn't know the overtime rules.
Yeah, what is up with that? Dude, if that came out about the Cowboys,
oh, we would lose our minds.
can you imagine how much McCarthy would get just lit up about how do your players not know the overtime rules?
Well, no, more than likely, this is actually believable, and I apologize to Mike McCarthy for putting this on him, but I can almost see, like, after the Super Bowl is over with and you've ended in a loss or whatever, and Mike McCarthy's up there going, man, I didn't even know what those were.
I totally see that, yeah.
It's weird.
But it's not like they're new. They kept calling them the new rules, but they're not new. We've had those for quite a few years now.
Right, ever since the Bills-Chiefs playoff game.
Yeah.
That just, what?
They should both get a chance at the ball, for sure.
Right.
I just don't understand how you play football professionally and you don't know what the overtime rules are.
I mean, I can see being hyper-focused to the point of just your job, and then unless somebody tells you anything new, you don't have room in your brain for any more football information. Your file capacity is reached max. I could understand that. But to go into a Super Bowl and go, hey, by the way, or to even just to go into overtime and not pull everybody aside and go, rules have changed in case y'all would like to know, or spread this through the coaches and tell everybody. I mean, you've got enough people over there that somebody can be like, by the way, here, the rules are different in the Super Bowl playoffs and stuff.
That's just so weird.
So a lot of what everybody's talking about on the Super Bowl, and we will get into the Super Bowl commercials, more the movie trailers that were during the Super Bowl, during Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun, which is my segment about comic book movie shit. But the other thing everybody's talking about is how many freaking times the Swift was shown with her and Ice Spice and all those in just a lot. With the reason being, we all knew it was going to happen because you have a major fandom that's now also watching the Super Bowl intently and firing up more TVs to see Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that irritated a lot of people. It didn't irritate me as much because I also watched the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon.
Did you really?
I did.
Of course you did.
The Super Bowl in Bikini Bottom, which, side note, was the most audio and visual chaos I have ever seen in my entire life. Because not only did you have two announcers, a play-by-play and a color announcer, but also with them, in a smaller screen below, was SpongeBob and Patrick. So they got the voice actors for SpongeBob and Patrick, who then they just CGI'd SpongeBob and Patrick, and I guess they put the little dots on them and just made them move around or whatever, right? So while the play-by-play and the commentators are talking, you hear Patrick going, "Oh, he's the greatest Patrick I've ever known." Talking about Mahomes and just stuff like that, and SpongeBob trying to explain the rules to kids, and they flashed to Sandy Cheeks that was on their sideline reporter, Sandy Cheeks,
with her helmet on.
With their helmet on, in the oxygen, which I will admit threw me off for a second. It's like, she doesn't need her helmet. She's on land now. And Larry the lobster running around. Just randomly, Larry the lobster would be on the field going, "Yeah!"
See, he should have been the referee.
It was all kinds of chaos, and I enjoyed it.
Colby, let me ask you this.
Yes.
What if CBS, because of course CBS owns Nickelodeon.
Right.
What if every time they have a broadcast of an NFL game,
they had a Nickelodeon version of it?
They have the equivalent of the Manning cast, but it's SpongeBob and Patrick.
I mean, the dumbest things are said, and the basic, almost trying at football knowledge that was happening, which I was okay with. It was dumb. It was stupid. And Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball for the winning touchdown and the hug and everything. I know it probably messed up for everybody else that had to be watching this version, but that whole with SpongeBob laughing in the background and Patrick going, "Whoa, that's really cool."
Oh my God.
The classic and the sports, orchestra and opera that's supposed to be playing right then was just totally stepped on and ruined for everybody else. But I'm just looking at my phone. Just
well,
it's amazing.
It was ruined for a lot of people on the regular broadcast too.
Was it?
Have you not heard this?
I have not.
Tony Romo was getting lit up.
Oh, for why?
Because, of course, Jim calls the game-winning, Super Bowl-winning touchdown. And then what's Jim Nance's kind of signature move? You lay out and you let the moment come to you, right?
Uh-huh. And Romo's so excited he can't keep it.
Romo cannot. God, I swear he wet his pants.
He might have.
Because zero gap to the time Nance is done describing the game-winning play, Romo has to jump in and start breaking the play down. Rather than, like, they haven't even shown a replay of it yet. Like, it just happened. And he just jumps in and just start. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with it necessarily. I know a lot of people are critical of Romo. I heard on the fan today, Gavin was talking, and he used to be a Romo supporter. He's like, I can't do it anymore. I can't. He's so bad now. I don't see it.
Right.
But he's getting lit up for not, and Jim Nance has yet to comment on this.
Oh, that's bad.
Because Jim likes to just let the moment breathe, right? Just let's let it be there. So a lot of people are saying Romo should have kept his mouth shut, let them show it on TV, let Jim bring it back, and then you go into your analysis. But apparently that's not something they discuss in pre-show or anything.
You probably need to give somebody a hit. Of course, he's worked with Nance long enough to know.
Yeah.
That's kind of his thing. Because without you saying his thing, I knew his thing, and I don't work with Jim Nance. Right? So, obviously, I work with IndyCarTim. That's kind of the thing that's happening right now before your eyes.
It's literally happening.
So, but, you know, I don't have to watch it to see, because it probably wouldn't have ruined anything for me.
No.
Like, what was it? The one Nance call that I remember was the record setter for the Cowboys, where Bland runs one back to the house. And, like, this could be NFL history. And Nance is really giving a classic call. And right at the end of it, Romo's like, man, that was a great call that you just did.
Yeah. It's like, I like that. I don't mind that.
And I remember it. I thought it was funny because that was what I was thinking. Like, man, that was great on the fly. He just said what I was thinking. That's good.
No, but it was, man, I don't have a problem with Romo. You know, if seriously, if you're going to be that critical of the guy that's doing color analysis of the game you're watching, you probably shouldn't be watching the game. You should probably be watching something else.
I was excited with the game as far as how just, you know, yin and yang it was, and how, you know, push and shove and just down to the wire. Of course, you went into overtime. Of course, it's down to the wire. But that's exactly what I wanted to see with the Super Bowl. It wasn't the teams I wanted to see in the Super Bowl, but as long as San Francisco didn't win, I was going to be good.
Well, no, because we talked about it last week that all we really wanted to see, and I think I predicted it, is going to come down to the final possession of the game.
Right.
Whether it's a winning possession or a losing possession, that's really all we wanted to see, all we cared about. And, I mean, that's what we got.
How relieved. What was it? Was it Rice that caught the ball in like 4 or 5 yards down the field, and then he got thrown back, and then he kept his feet, and it ended up being, you know, like a significant loss. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this the thing that ruins? Is this the play we're all? Because that's what I thought. This is the play we're all going to look at tomorrow and be like, I don't know. Should he get forward progress? I mean, he was literally thrown and he just kept his feet.
Right.
So I thought that was going to be a thing, but no, nobody's going to look at it now. So it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now. So Colby, we went over some of the prop bets too from the game,
right?
Along with our regular picks. Of course, our picks, we had the 49ers minus 1.5 at the Chiefs with an over-under of 47.5. Almost makes it look like Vegas knows what they're doing, doesn't it? Because Colby, the Kansas City Chiefs won as the underdog, of course. 25-22, which is a total of 47. So the under hit by half a point.
That's so dumb.
I got both points. You got one. Big Red got both. The coin got none.
Take that coin.
Stupid coin. But, man, and we were discussing some of these prop bets on yardage totals and things like that.
Right.
Thinking how ridiculous they sounded. Like, there's no way. This guy's going to have way more yards than that.
Right.
Dude, they were pretty freaking close. It's amazing. So we had Christian McCaffrey at 90.5 yards. We all took the under. He had 80.
Look at us go. We're smart.
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco had the over-under on him was 66.5 yards. I took the under. You took the over. It was 59 yards. Patrick Mahomes rushing yards, 26.5.
That's what he got?
No, that's what the bet was.
Okay.
Bet was 26.5. We both took the over. Colby, he had 66 rushing yards. We kind of saw that coming.
Right.
Brock Purdy rush yards. And I remember talking about this when I said the number is 12.5. And I said, dude, he's going to have that on the first series. And you were like, I don't think so. You took the under, I took the over. Do you know what his rushing total was?
What?
12 yards.
Wow.
12 yards.
It was 12.5. That's I'm smart.
Travis Kelce receiving yards, they had it at 70.5. You and I both took the over. His total was 93. Hit. Rashee Rice receiving yards, they had it at 67.5. We both took the under. He had 39 yards.
Wow.
Almost makes it sound like we know what the hell we're doing sometimes.
Yeah, until you read the other ones where we fucked up the rest of them.
Right. Mahomes passing yards, 260.5. 260.5, right, is what we were betting on.
Right.
You took the over. I took the under. He had 333. So boom on Colby.
Don't mark that.
Brock Purdy's passing total. The over-under was set at 247.5.
I think I took the under on this one.
You took the under. I took the over. He had 255 yards.
Damn it.
Travis Kelce receptions, 6.5. We both took the over. He had 9. Christian McCaffrey receptions. They set it at 4.5. I took the over. You took the under. He had 8.
Wow.
8 catches on the day.
By half.
Debo Samuel receptions at 4.5. I had the under. You had the over. Debo had 3 catches. And finally, Brandon Ayuk, same total, 4.5 on him. You and I both took the over. I don't know why we did that.
We're smart.
He had 3.
Stupid.
We're dumb. So, I mean, you know, all in all, it was a fun Super Bowl to watch from what I can kind of remember.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Colby. Let's just say I got to Katie and Jason's house the night before in anticipation of the big day, right?
Okay.
Of course, we started partying as soon as I got there that night. Woke up, kind of, in a pool of vomit.
Gross. Was it yours?
I think it was mine.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was mine. By the way, sorry, guys, about your betting again. Rallied, went went to Jersey Mike's to get some lunch and bring it back to the house before people started showing up for the Super Bowl. Scarfed down Jersey Mike's.
Oh, dear.
And Katie started making poinsettias. You know what a poinsettia is?
It's a plant.
No. Well, I mean, yes.
Okay.
But the drink.
No, I've never had a poinsettia drink.
You know what a mimosa is?
Yes.
Okay, so replace the orange juice with cranberry juice.
All right.
So it's champagne cranberry juice. I think I had 40.
I think I had obscene number.
Because I remember, you know, being coherent enough to watch the game and understand what was happening. But then the next thing, I remember the game winning. I remember all of it. But there's a lot of just spots in the middle that I don't remember about anything. And then, of course, everybody had to work today, so I hopped in the truck with Kenny and Jess and made the trip back home. I don't remember getting home last night. I was sleeping in my clothes.
Well, of course you are. That's when you know, by the way, when you either wake up naked in the floor or you're fully clothed, but you made it to the bed. That's your 2 options at that point.
And of course, at that point, when I come home from places like that in that state, I start freaking out about, okay, did I leave something there? Because they're an hour away now.
Oh.
In Roanoke. So I'm like, so I have to start going through my backpack. Please let my laptop be here. Please let the charger be here on all the things that I needed. And they were. It ended up being all right. But good times at the Starkey household for Super Bowl. That's for damn sure.
So coming up next, we are going to get into a little bit of good, bad, and ugly, which is our chance to get into a little famous people's birthdays, and then I've got Mystery Shotgun to go over those Super Bowl trailers and what I think about the movies that are coming out. That's all coming up on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim Show.
Hello, sports fans.
FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about turf life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today and snag that window decal or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim Show right here on FanStream Sports. It is a Monday, February 12th. We certainly hope that you have your house in order for the upcoming Valentine's Day.
Huh.
Because if you don't, you're running out of time. Mm-hmm. If you choose to,
Valentine it up.
Yeah, if you're the kind of person that feels like you need to reaffirm yourself with your lady, Wednesday's the day to do it.
Yeah, so
Glad I don't fall into that category.
Don't wait. Don't be the person that waits and last second run to the grocery store and fight with all the other people on at the florist to try and get that couple of roses, because roses cost more that day than they do the next day.
Or maybe just don't do roses. Do something else. Don't do flowers. Everybody does flowers. Maybe get her a little pail of mud or something.
Yeah, pail of mud. It's the new Valentine, according to Tim.
Who says that's not romantic?
I mean, most people.
Well, maybe they need to reevaluate their thought process.
Just go out and, make sure it's a decorative pail.
Yeah, with flowers on it.
Right. The flowers are on the pail.
There's your flowers.
I got you the dirt.
Oh, my Lord.
This is that segment where I go through all the people that have been born today, and then I make a list out of the people that are famous enough to make my list, and I offer that list to you guys, along with me and Tim, as we decide who is the good person, who is the bad person, and who is the ugly person out of this list. Starting off today, he's number 10 on my list, but he's number 1 in your baseball hearts.
Uh-oh.
26 years old, Josh Young.
He's pretty good, Colby.
He's pretty good. People forget he was a rookie this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just
out of tech, out of college.
Yep. Just stepped up, and you looked at him because of the other guys on the squad. It's like, well, here's one of our veterans. No, bud. This is his first year. So
Played very admirably there at third, the hot corner.
That's right. And then we all just hoping and praying that it wasn't the Kevin Moss effect.
Oh, my gosh.
He does good following. Turning 68 years old today, there was many, many, many nights that this gentleman informed me of pop culture and things that were going on in the world as it's Arsenio Hall's birthday.
So I'm going to take it from what you just said, that you were an avid watcher of his show.
I was.
Okay.
And
I watched it for a little bit. I wasn't into the whole woo, woo, woo. I couldn't get into that.
It was, well, I mean, it was my late night show. Like
Yeah.
my parents had their late night show, whatever.
Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I watched Carson.
And such like that. And then Jay Leno or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fine. Mine was Arsenio Hall. Because he was normally going to talk to somebody I was more interested in seeing in the chair than whoever they were going to be on the Tonight Show.
He was pretty edgy, too. I mean, he
Yes.
had Bill Clinton come on and play saxophone when he was running for president.
Now, that kind of stuff just, it was the really bad impressions that he did, because they were really bad, but
Kind of intentionally.
You were in on the bit.
Yeah.
You were in on the bit. So Arsenio Hall, 68 years old today.
Wow.
Turning 41 years old today. And the reason to either go watch The Warriors on Showtime or go watch The Raid. It's Iko Uwais. Tim, have you ever seen the movie The Raid?
No.
You might need to. As far as just complete balls to the wall martial arts action, you can't really get any faster, any grittier, any dirtier than The Raid.
Oh, this is a dude.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that I've ever heard of it.
It's
The
a-
Raid?
Yeah, it's a hotel that's just filled with bad guys.
Oh, it's a whole series.
So,
There's a Raid 2 and a Raid 3 and
Yep.
a Raid Redemption.
yes.
Huh. All right.
So, check that out.
I will.
And just tell me when you get to the baseball chick hallway.
Oh,
scene.
no.
It's that hurt so many parts of my body just watching it. They made sure and got the sound of the baseball bat just right, and so everything. Ting, ting, shit.
Dang.
RG3 turns 34 years old today.
That's it?
That's it. He should still be in the league. He's 34.
Man, I liked RG3 when he played and when he came out of Baylor and all that and Heisman Trophy and all that, blah, blah, blah. But, dude, he just rubs me the wrong way as a broadcaster.
I could see that, but him just constantly just still being himself up there, I'm fine with it.
He needs to find a new stylist, too. I don't know what the crap he wears.
Well, it's his thing. It's
bad.
It's whatever. I'm fine with it. I will say this a lot. As long as you're not, we can tell that you are who you are on the camera as well as off the camera. That's just you, and you're being honest with everybody out there. Then I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it. It's the people that I know when they go home, they're not that person anymore.
Right.
That's in that type of environment. Now, actors, yeah, I understand. Actresses. By the way, speaking of actor, who's just gotten better with age since that one movie with Tony Hawk. Josh Brolin turns 56.
Tony Hawk was in a movie?
There was well, I don't think Tony Hawk was in it, but his first movie ever was like about skaters or something like that. It was like it was after Goonies. It was trying to go with his popularity and make a movie, and it was just about skating. And yeah, now everything
That's funny.
that Josh Brolin's in just is awesome.
I love yeah, absolutely. He's awesome.
So
He even did a good Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black. I almost said Men at Work. Men in Black.
right. Well, you just hand him something to do, and he'll probably do it better than the last guy that did it.
Better than his dad.
Yeah, Charles Darwin passed away in 1882, or he's now evolved into something else.
Yeah, right. So that was my question. What is he now?
He's Darrell's Charwin,
Is he flying or swimming?
which it's really odd. It's really odd that never mind. I'll get into that in the next segment. Christina Ricci is 44 years old.
Is she?
She is.
So she's legal now?
I mean, yeah, she's been legal for 26 years.
Man, she's what you describe as a sumta hot.
She is a sumta hot.
Sometimes she just looks like, hey now, and then there's other times I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, there are times when she appears in something you're like, you know what? I'd like to suck on your toes. And then there's other times just like, you know what?
Huh.
I'd like to leave.
That was oddly specific, Colby.
Well, you know.
Internets.
You start in extremity and work your way in.
Why do you start at the toes?
Well, you can just start at the fingers if you want to.
You just don't know where they've been.
Yeah. Well, either that or the toes. Usually, actually, you're better off at the toes because they've been in shoes or whatever. You don't know. They could have stuck their finger anywhere. You usually don't stick your toe in places.
I mean, okay.
You usually.
Okay.
I mean, there's times when, right, you just got to toe it and find out about it.
Just toe the company line.
Uh-huh. Bill Russell, he passed away in 2022.
I remember it well. Number 6, Colby. That's why I wore number 6.
Tara Strong turns 51 years old today. And you would know her fine work from, well, good God, everything that she's been a voice actor for. She was Raven in Teen Titans. She was Little Timmy in The Fairly Odd Parents.
She's kind of cute.
Right. She was.
Even for 51.
What else was she? She was in she was like something in Ben 10. She was everywhere.
New Batman Adventures.
Right.
Rugrats, Powerpuff Girls.
Pretty much, if they needed that voice,
Yeah.
that's who they went to. So there you go. And finally, Abe Lincoln. But no, Abraham Lincoln. Not
Hey, Blinken.
Abe Lincoln. 1865. So there you go. There is your famous birthdays.
Well, he was born today? But not in
Yes.
1865.
No, he passed away in
Right, okay.
1865.
Right. But in April. Abraham Lincoln.
That's right. Abe Lincoln, which, but if you got that Robin Hood Men in Tights reference.
Hey, Blinken.
Abe Lincoln.
That might be the only funny thing I've ever seen Dave Chappelle do.
Oh,
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
You're completely and utterly devoid of being able to tell me what's funny ever again.
I mean, he's not.
I mean, that's holy crap. There's been so many almost peas myself because of stuff that Dave Chappelle said.
I need to hear some of it then because I've never heard anything funny.
Just, oh man, I shouldn't. Oh dear, that was.
We need to do a Dave Chappelle episode. First of all, I can't pronounce his last name. It's Chappell.
It's Dave Chappelle. And you never watch any of the Dave Chappelle show?
No.
Okay, that's.
I've never watched 1 second of the Chappelle's show or whatever it's called.
Okay, there's
no desire.
That has to change. There's
No.
so much classic hilarity in it. I am not even the fan. I'm not the guy that would tell you that to go what like I've got one comedy movie besides the Pink Panther movies that I've ever suggested to anybody in my entire life.
True.
Which we all know wasn't something about Mary because I didn't think that was funny at all.
That was funny.
But Tropic Thunder has been a movie I've suggested myriad of times.
Yep.
This is along that same lines of, oh my God,
I
Unstoppable.
just don't think
Fun.
I understand his humor.
Oh, you will. You are typecasting the wrong area. Yes, he is hilarious.
All right, Colby, I'll take your word for it.
So I don't know how we got there, but we made it there.
So, do I go sports good, presidential good,
Hey,
or
Lincoln.
acting good? We got a bunch of those, man.
We do.
All right, but I mean, look, I have to go Abraham Lincoln because he freed the slaves, right?
Gotcha.
I mean, also honorable mention Bill Russell, Josh Brolin, and Josh Young.
Okay.
All honorable mention goods on my list. My bad. Well, I mean, this one's super easy. Charles Darwin, because he's a fool.
Okay.
If I could give him as many bads as I do Hitler, I probably would.
Well, all right then.
There you go.
I'm not sure on a lot of the history you're probably speaking of knowledge from, so there you go.
And then my ugly, Colby, I'm going to go Arsenio Hall. He's just weird looking. He's probably even more weird looking now that he's old. I wonder what he looks like now.
We'll go look him up.
We normally don't look up dudes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't. I don't know what you do in your off time.
I don't know what your search browser history is.
While you're doing your thing, my good, I think we're just go ahead and put Abe Lincoln in the automatic good section.
Think?
Yeah. It's one of those.
Like up there with Jesus?
Especially what he did against the vampires.
Yes, I love that movie. That's so great.
That movie is unquestionably too strong for its title.
They were supposed to make another one.
So, for me, I've got to go ahead and go with Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Just because. For my good. My bad is, I think the Washington Redskins of the time kind of killed this guy's career and then turned him into something. So I'm going to go ahead and go with RG3, the athlete, because I expected more out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my bad. And my ugly is crap. You know, there's not really anybody on the list that you can really go, I mean, I know he's eternally good, but Abe Lincoln was ugly.
He was.
So I'm gonna
Mary
go with
Todd
that.
didn't think so.
I mean, right. So, but I'm going to go with that.
All right.
That's my good, bad, and ugly.
Well, there we go.
So if you have your good, bad, and ugly that you want to send to us, you can go ahead and do that. Text lines 214-937-0569, or you can comment down below, or you can just, I don't know, give a thumbs up or stick a thumb in your butt. I don't care.
Okay, but if you do that, we're going to need video.
I'm not needing video of you putting your old big finger in your little hole.
I mean, all right. I was going to put it on TikTok, but
I don't think you can show butthole on TikTok.
well, I mean, we like blue dotted out or whatever.
just put a blue spider where your ass
Where your
ends.
taint goes.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's your good, bad, and ugly. And now it's time for me to soft pedal until Tim fires the music. Oh, there it is. Yes. Welcome in to Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun. I am your host, Colby Sapp, along with Pod Racer Tim. And it's time to get into those trailers that we saw on the Super Bowl. And there's some of them that, you know, we were expecting. We were expecting the now called Deadpool and Wolverine, the Deadpool 3 trailer, which was pretty good. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But a couple of them that I wasn't expecting, well, actually one I wasn't expecting, and one I kind of had a thought that it was there. There was more than this. I know people are up in arms and super excited about The Quiet Place, and people are up in arms and super excited about a Wicked or whatever that is. There was one that, and the Monkey Man, and what else was there? These are all that like came out beforehand, and I'd already seen the trailers on these. But the one that threw me for a loop, and I am a super big fan of this movie, and the fact that this movie spawned a B movie about the same subject that starred Bruce Campbell, because it was called Tornado, and it was written in the same font as Twister. And I thought, dear God, I have to see that.
To give up.
I have to see that. Twisters, the sequel to Twister, is happening.
Why?
So apparently the kids of the characters in Twister are gathered together once again, so you're telling me the Dorothy thing didn't make them all rich and famous or something? So the kids have to go, and they've still got the same Dorothy contraption in the back of a... Yeah. So apparently the kids are all now, storm chasers and tornado chasers, and they're going up against another big corporation, a head honcho jackass, which is I'm good with. But my brain didn't know that that was something that I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I also can't think of why I want to see it. But I'm going to end up seeing it.
This doesn't even move my needle.
I'm going to end up seeing it because Twister is such... I'm telling you what I want to see in Twisters. This has to happen.
Everybody die.
You have to have... Not only do you have to have cows, and then them say it's the same cow. but you have to have the ending where whoever the lead character of this group is running from a tornado, makes it to some kind of outhouse, uses his belt to strap around a pipe, and then not rip his arm out of socket and fling him into the finger of God, but he's just sitting there surfing this tornado like it's no big deal. And somebody has to make Bill Paxton face.
That movie was so terrible. It was the worst of them. Like, when did that come out? Early 90s?
Wait.
That is one of the absolute worst movies that have ever been released in theaters.
Twister.
Yes. It is so terrible. There's nothing about that movie that's redeeming.
I don't know if I can even just sit here and let you besmirch the greatness of Twister.
Cannot say that word in front of the title of the movie.
Yes, you can.
It is so horrible.
I have seen. All right, so for those that are paying attention, I need a count. And if you're listening to this in the on the podcast in the recorded version, you're going to have to send in to the text line 214-937-0569. I need to know. If you're listening to my voice right now, I need to know, how many times have you seen Twister? I want to see an average of how many because it's probably 7 or 8 times I've seen Twister.
Okay.
Like, actually, just like, not that it was on and it's like, oh, well, there's Twister. I guess I should watch it. Because it wasn't something that was totally replayed a whole lot.
Right.
But chose to go, oh, wait, Twister. Yeah, let's watch that.
Look, first of all, I have a thing for, like, weather. I love weather. I studied meteorology as a teen, and then a little bit later, like right about the time this movie came out. It's terrible. The portrayal of how the weather works is ridiculous. I couldn't get past any of that. Number 2, it has quite possibly as one of its main stars the most annoying and just incredibly unattractive woman that I have ever laid eyes on. In Helen Hunt. I can't even look at her. She's so unattractive.
Okay, that's a dumb opinion.
Well, but it's my opinion.
Yeah,
I can't look at her.
I said the proper word after it. Dumb opinion.
No, she's just, I can't get past her being in it. If she wasn't in it, like put Sandra Bullock in there instead or something.
I think that at that time that would have been too much Sandra Bullock for everybody.
Probably she was everywhere else. Dude, I just can't. I can't get past the entire storyline is ridiculous.
You know what? And here's what not knowing things made things better for me. I didn't know anything. I mean, live in Texas. Yes, I know about tornadoes. Probably seen more than I ever want to see in my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a tornado. We probably shouldn't go outside. I understood that. But the whole, at the time watching the movie, you're like, wow, they're Tornado Alley and they're doing all this stuff and they're chasing it down and they had to think to put tinfoil on top of the little dot things because they had to put wings on them so they get sucked up better. It's like, it's a tornado. Shouldn't it just suck everything up? I mean, that's what tornadoes do, is they just suck. But yeah, so, and all that stuff, and the fact that one of the main characters, like Grandma, that they all just got through eating that, the tornado just happens to hit there, and it's, you know what? I'm fine with it.
Of course you are.
Because my brain knows we're watching a movie. Turn off and watch the movie. Stop trying to think or outthink people that made this movie.
Can't.
Just,
My brain doesn't work that way.
So Twisters, kind of excited about. The movie that I didn't know I wanted to see for real was this take on the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
How that now, like, the humans are being hunted like the animals, and everything's in. I mean, they're growing their own civilization, and you start to see some of the, the human nature of, well, I got to conquer everything now type of, and it's just that and the fight back that looks really, well, it looks really primeval. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm. That does look good.
And just, a hauntingly dark experience into probably what everybody will experience if we end up going into the future. It's like, oh, yep, there they are. There's the apes. They're in charge.
They're going to rule.
Cool. But finally on this list is we get to the one that really I was kind of waiting on, and I'd already seen the Super Bowl trailer before the Super Bowl. As soon as, my insiders could get their grubby little hands on it, next thing I know, in my inbox, there it is. Here you go, dude. Got it. And so I took a look at it, and I was waiting on everybody else's reaction to it because we all know, I told y'all when they just finished filming, hadn't been that long ago. So to put a trailer together, you've got all the film that you need, but are we going to use this all? We don't know. We haven't edited it yet. So the couple of things that got in there were to let everybody know where the plot was going, which we kind of already told you where the plot was going, and apologize to all of y'all that, we told ahead of time, but the trailer did that as well. Is this is going to be the mouse-eared control, big finger to the mouse ear is what's happening. Is people are, and it's what this film needed, because a lot of people were worried about Deadpool in the hands of Steamboat Willie. This is bad. You're not going to get what you want out of Deadpool because it'll feel like he's been censored a little bit. And so to do the reverse tactic of going, oh, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to attack Disney while inside Disney. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, and that's something you expect from Deadpool.
That is something you expect from Deadpool. So we let you know that, of course, the TVA is involved, but one character that I hadn't really seen a whole lot on, I knew they were going to do a version of this character. I just didn't know how. So, Alioth, which is in Marvel, this particular character, which I always read as Alioth, because in the comic books, because it's Alioth, so my brain's like, that's Alioth. That's I think it's Alioth. This person's the guardian of the Void. The Void is the space in between multiverses, right? So, Multiverse Saga, this guardian comes out and it's like, hey, y'all are effing stuff up. You need to stop because, stuff. So, this is where it kind of scares me, because there for a little bit in the trailer, Alioth is a cloud. And you know my stance.
Yep.
On comic book movies, you can't have your main character fight a cloud. It doesn't work. It will never work. Stop doing it. So I'm hoping that she ends up having, or I guess he or she, I'm thinking it's a she actress that's playing this person or voicing or whatever. So I'm hoping that they tune her down into a physical person, and that's what's going on. Because if it ends up that Deadpool fights a cloud, then Ryan Reynolds hadn't learned a damn thing. Because he fought a cloud in Green Lantern. A giant fear cloud. Which we all know how that turned out. So, but everything else about the movie looks great. The choice of title, Deadpool and Wolverine, or as Hugh Jackman said, his version of the title was Wolverine and Asshole.
Yeah. That was funny. I saw that.
Get prepared for this to change a few times before the movie actually comes out, by the way, because Disney's filed rights for Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, Wolverine and Deadpool, Deadpool versus the TVA. Like, they've got a list of names. So even though they've just going with this one right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't change it a few times before it actually hits theaters. So, but there you go. There's my thoughts on the things happening with the movie trailers. If you had, if one of the other movies that I didn't mention or just briefly mentioned is the one that's tickling you, and you need more information on what's going on with that movie, then just shoot me a tweet or something, or some kind, or just leave a message at our text line, and I'll see if I can dig up more information on it. So there you go. That is Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun.
Thank you, Colby.
Yep.
Learn something new every show.
Until you don't.
By the way, follow Colby on Twitter or on X at Colby Sapp with 2 P's. It's there on the screen if you're watching the video here. And he always keeps you up to date with all of that. Go find him on Facebook and on our FanStream Sports fan group on Facebook. We're always posting stuff over there for you too. So go check some of that Shiite out. Try to keep everybody informed on the fun things and the stupid things.
Shiite.
That's what we do. Colby, we don't talk a lot of Mavericks or basketball on this show.
No.
Which you probably like.
I mean, I'm good with talking. I've been up to date. I've been keeping an eye out.
Have you?
Do we need to throw this thing to some talky words first before we get into this?
Yes.
All right. So coming up next, we get into a little bit of what's going on with the Mavs and the trades they've acquired and how this team looks, and also some news and notes. That's all next on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim Show.
Sports fans.
FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there. All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today and snag that window decal or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk. Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there. Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim Show once again.
Yep.
As we head down the home stretch. The Power Hour, Colby.
Hey, Arnie.
Longhorn sock.
I think the Cowboys are going to do bad this year.
Dak's not the guy. Idiots.
That's right.
Idiot Cowboy fans. Now I sound like Pharrell on the bench, too.
They're the same people.
Yeah, they are pretty much. Live from the FanStream Sports Studios here in Dallas. It is the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim Show, live for you on Mondays and Wednesdays. Maybe coming soon more often. That's what we are being told. We'll just see if that happens.
Right.
We would love to come to you daily. We would love to come daily. Right?
Come as you are.
Or don't come at all.
That's right.
I think we should stop saying come.
I mean, keep it up.
Colby, we don't talk a lot of basketball. I completely forgot we had a break there. I apologize. Even though it's literally on the run sheet that I made.
Right. I'm just following the words you put down.
I don't know why I would know that at all. But the NBA trade deadline has passed, much like several items in my bowels. They've passed. And there's a lot of talk. And again, you know, I've been watching some of the games. I've been trying to keep up with the YouTube, whatever, the summary, you know, the 10-minute game summary, so I don't have to watch the whole things. But it looks like the Mavericks have made themselves considerably better, which is a shock to me.
Sorry, Liv Morgan just walked down the aisle.
I don't know who that is.
On
the blonde?
On Raw, and I zoned out. So you're talking about the trade that happened?
Yeah, the Mavs at the trade deadline. It looks like they've got a couple of guys that maybe make their team considerably better.
Well, because what you got out of Gafford and P.J. Washington is you got two guys that they space the floor, they get rebounds, and they're good around the basket. So what has this team needed? They've needed rebounds and defense. Because just so much that you can get out of, you know, Lively and the bunch, right?
Right.
You're getting as much as you could get out of them. But now adding this, against the Thunder, and I haven't been keeping up with the score tonight, but against the Thunder, they look like they could do whatever the hell they wanted to the whole game.
37-36, Mavs up, 6:45 left in the second quarter. By the way, the Washington Wizards, they're 9-43 this year.
Well, you know, this also might be your kind of lull back to sleep a little bit and catch up some legs and what have you. But no, watching this Mavericks formation go against the Thunder, I was like, wow, I could get used to this, because what I was imagining was it was kind of that same feeling that you got when Tyson Chandler showed up, and you're like, whoa, wait, we can just throw it at the basket and everybody can dunk it now. This is something that I can definitely get used to. And people run at the basket and they just don't get a layup. They have to like augment their shot and sometimes get it swatted into the front row.
Yeah.
I'm totally in on this. This is kind of what I was hoping. Hate to go back to this. This is what I was hoping with Porzingis, that he would go to the middle and really do that roll action, pop sometimes, but do that roll and just do that dunk from like almost the free throw line and just put the ball in the basket. And I thought that was going to be, you know, unstoppable, until we also realized that at the time him nor Porzingis, Luka nor Porzingis could, you know, play defense. That's bad.
Right,
and
right.
then you got points to where Porzingis didn't even want to play. But now with these two guys, they look thrilled to be here. I mean, you did give up quite a bit in order to get them, but in doing so, you definitely made this team better, and made it better for not just this year, but down the road, because both these guys actually got a few years left on their contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both got 2 more years, so they're not rent-a players at all.
So, and that's the reason why it did cost you a little bit more to go get them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you had to give up an adequate amount to lure them away from their current teams. And you did. And I think it's going to pay dividends for you, not only this season, but actually making this team look better. Because when you put Kyrie, Luka, now with in PJ, a solid guy that can drop threes but also play a little bit close to the rim, and then Gafford, and, you know, changing out him and Lively as just rim protectors, right, and also rebounders, and then clean up the mess at the, you know, on the boards. That's something that is going to start to be like, woo, wait, this is at the time as a Mavericks fan, you start looking at this team and go, so where are the holes at? Because I don't see many.
Yeah.
And now we got a lot of, you know, the rest of this year in order to, you know, find out if there are any holes or are any warts on this pig. But first game out of the gates, I'm like, no, never mind. This pig's clean.
It looked pretty promising for sure. And both of these guys kind of somewhat established already with what their little niches are, you know. And I know Washington, they think he's going to be a really good fit to complement Doncic.
Right.
Which, good God, he needs all of the help he can get with someone that can play with him with his game. Because I don't think a lot of guys on the team are good at that. And I think it takes away from the team. That's one of my criticisms of Luka, is he can't play with everybody.
He doesn't play well with people that he doesn't think can match his level. And Mike was like that.
Sure.
Your top players are like that. LeBron actually gets targeted because he's not like that. He just throws it to the right shot at times. And you're like, you're LeBron. Effing shoot it, dude. So you've got players like that. And Luka's, he moves at his own pace. They've tried to speed him up at the beginning of the season and such and move that along. And you've seen the pace come up. The problem with the pacing come up is that unless you can play defense, their pace is going to jump too. And you play at the freneticism that's going on, well, sometimes your legs are going to go out before theirs do. So, but Kyrie, and now you've got this ability to move at a faster pace with Kyrie, but also have Luka on the floor at the same time. And now you're attacking at two different tempos and a team that can play at two different tempos. That is hard to do anything against.
Yeah.
It's the perfect 1-2. It's the left hand that makes you drop your gloves and the right hand comes over the top.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens with it.
So, yeah, I mean, because they've struggled at times this year. They've struggled in chunks, right? I mean, you've had some win streaks going, and then you've had some really bad losing streaks, and then you get another win streak.
You get injuries, you get tired, you get all of the things that go on with the team. And
And I haven't heard anybody out there. And again, I don't watch a ton of, NBA shows, but from what I've read and what I've seen over at Dallas Mavericks or DallasBasketball.com, they're wildly inconsistent this year, and I don't think anybody considers them to be a contender. So do you think this changes that? That they could be more of a contender now?
Yes, most definitely, because the things that I thought – now, if this is for me, and you have to take this with a little bit of grain of salt because I am the eternal home team optimist. But what I saw from the team was a team that lacked defensive capabilities and rebounding around the rim.
Mm-hmm.
With what Lively was producing, it was more than what I expected out of him this year because, honestly, after the draft, I wasn't expecting a whole lot.
Sure.
I was, a grow season, see what happens down the road, and he's performed a lot better than what I thought. Now, with this coming in, these guys with full energy and ready to go, I don't, like I said, I don't see a lot of holes with this team. And that's what I look for.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got star power. You've got the things that you need in the NBA is the players that can take control of a game and keep it and will you to a win. You've got that. You've had that. But the ability for that to be a different guy, if you needed it to be, besides Kyrie or Luka, hasn't really been there as much. I mean, yes, sometimes, you're Hardaway will go out there and just take over a game. But it's on and off with him. But now you've got one of those three guys on, which more than likely Kyrie and Luka are going to be on.
Right.
And then you've got everything else protected down low. That simplifies the game for me. It was already pretty simple for Luka right now.
Sure.
And Kyrie right now. But this just makes it better.
So my biggest question then going into this post-trade, obviously, we want to see how they improve record-wise, stats-wise across the board as the season continues. And again, football's over now, so this is about the time everybody starts paying attention to basketball.
Right. It's hockey and basketball.
Yeah, I'll be paying a lot more basketball attention than I had previously. But for me, and what my other biggest criticism of this team is the head coach. I think now, with him being given these tools, I think leash is going to be a lot shorter.
It is.
Like if you can't do anything with this, then maybe you're not the guy.
Right. If you can't make something out of these ingredients, then we'll get a different chef.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, his main thing is if these new guys come in and buy in, as the team did when they were doing well, bought into everything he was saying. Then it looked like they stopped buying into a lot of things he was saying.
Right.
It's like, never mind. I thought you knew everything. Maybe you don't. they buy in and it kind of, regathers itself as a team and you see a more of a unified front with these guys, then yeah. Now, again, this is me from afar. I'm not sitting in the locker room. I don't know this is what they're thinking. It's just watching it. It just felt like, oh, really? What are you saying again, Jason? Okay. All right. Can we do something else? This is bad. That's what I felt like watching it.
Right. No, and
it may just be the fact that I have to hear Tim talk about it all the time, and he's just, infected my brain.
Well, because I'm usually right about stuff like that.
You sit over and point out the negative till the negative happens.
But it happens.
Right.
So I was right.
No.
That's what that means.
If you sit and wait for, like, if you were decided that the San Francisco 49ers were going to be your whipping team all this whole season,
right,
you would finally be right. It would just take until the Super Bowl for you to be right.
But I was right.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the argument.
It's your argument for your reason why you're right is the reason why I'm right.
But I'm right.
Wrong.
That's why we don't talk a lot of basketball, by the way. But so Colby also making news locally here in Dallas-Fort Worth sports.
Is the Spencer Dinwiddie chose the
God,
the L.A. Lakers over the Mavericks, and he has to explain why.
Does anybody care?
I mean, Dinwiddie was a good.
No, I love him. Absolutely. But, I mean, no, we should already know why he picked the Lakers over Dallas. They're the Lakers. LeBron's there.
Right.
For some reason, he's a draw. I have no idea why.
This versions of he's still like one of the best players in the league at the age of 40-something.
Idiot.
Ruined
the NBA. But making news here locally, Colby, is the Cowboys finally have their defensive coordinator. This finally happened.
Today, Ed Warder said something like that Zim is in.
Yeah, no, it's final. It's final.
Oh, they signed everything?
Yeah, but earlier in the day, apparently there was some wishy-washy stuff going on, and it looked like maybe he wasn't going to sign as the DC. As a matter of fact, there were reports that the Cowboys had already reached back out to Rex Ryan because the deal fell through with Zim.
Huh.
And then about an hour after that report, oh, no, we're good. Zim signed. We're good. Like, we had some extremely sketchy stuff going on at the start today.
It's a little touch and go there for a little bit. A little touch and go. Now, I'm going to, because we haven't really got a chance to even talk about this as what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. We talked about, them being an option and who the options were. And I think I gave out that, and I know this, that I'm worried about the way Zim's going to do this defense. Am I worried about him as a coach coming in and capturing faces and them ready? No, I'm not worried about that at all. Anybody that's like, oh, well, you want to go get surgery on this eye, and if that don't work, I'm just going to have them take it.
Yeah.
Anybody that's got that kind of mentality is like, whatever, I need to get back to practice. That guy, I'm fine with.
Yeah, by the way, he does still have both eyes.
Right.
It worked, whatever
right.
it was.
It took.
But, man, I just wasn't a fan of really any of these guys coming in. It's just all the retread. We talked about it last week, man. Just all of the retreads you could possibly imagine bringing in Rex Ryan. And Mike Zimmer probably is the least of the retreads.
Right.
Because at least he's somewhat recent, right? But, man, the dude's 67 years old.
I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it, too. But are the players going to be okay with that?
Actually, yeah, I think so. And that may have been one of the reasons why. I mean, the only other thing that you could have done was, pull from your own guys there and moved one of them up. But I don't think Jerry, Steve, Steven, them guys are, and it's really because of the Jason Garrett, but then it's also because of the Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
They've had their young guys before. They've had them come in, and then they've had to sit and watch this guy train on the job to get better. It's like, well, it's his first time doing it. Give him a break. And there's not a time to give anybody a break anymore with this team. And so the Joneses look around and go, all right, well, who's good? who do we know is good? Like, we're not looking for the greatest ever. We just need somebody that's good, that can get the talent that we're giving them to get out there and do the job. And I'm going to tell you, now that we finally do understand who's going to be our defensive coordinator, please, dear God, dear sweet baby Jesus, somebody figure out how to get this group to stop the run. Please, please, please.
Because your number one draft pick from last year or this year ain't going to do it.
I mean, you need more of them. I don't know.
No, he's terrible. Mozzie Smith is terrible. He may not make the roster next year. Like, he's that bad.
Okay.
Did you see in the game against Green Bay?
No, I did not.
He played 4 snaps. He started the game.
I can't watch that game again. So.
Played 4 snaps and got manhandled, just tossed out of the way for runs up the middle. And they ran at his position every single down he was in there, and they finally just yanked him.
Well, give that boy some juice. Let him get.
I just think he's bad.
I mean, he might be. I stopped paying attention I stopped paying attention to the defensive line because I couldn't watch it anymore because everything that I saw was not good as far as the run game was concerned.
So, somebody that has watched that game, I think he said 11 times start to finish on the All-22. Babe Loffenberg, we had that conversation today.
Oh, really?
He's like, oh, no, I've watched it over and over and over again. He goes, sometimes I'll watch each play 4 or 5 times on the All-22. He goes, just so I can look for stuff. He goes, and you know what I found? Their defensive line is really bad.
Yes!
I'm like, we know. It didn't take that long to figure that out.
Yes, as far as being able to do anything against, and then your linebacker, which, you had a couple of them back there, but again, one of them was, a defensive back playing linebacker.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do a whole lot against, the offensive lineman that's trudging through your defensive line.
Nope.
Like, he could tackle a running back. In fact, he's done that quite a few times whenever he's, had a chance to. But good God almighty.
It's just ugly. And, for all the accolades we gave Dan Quinn for coming in here and fixing this thing, I don't know that he left it much better off than he was when he got here. It's kind of a mess.
I started pointing this out this season when we had a game where it's like, that is one of the worst defensive efforts I've ever seen in my entire life. When you've got, Micah Parsons on your team, which let me go ahead and say this. I think I've said this before, but I'm pretty sure what I would do with Micah Parsons is just put him on the football field. Mm-hmm. I would Troy Polamalu his ass and just tell him, look, your job is football. I don't care if you catch it. I don't care if you tackle the guy with it. I don't care if you remove the football from the guy. If it's hitting the quarterback, hitting the running back, hitting the wide receiver, hitting the tight end, whoever's got the football, Micah, use what we saw his rookie season was a dude just playing on instinct and just everywhere. Do that. Yeah. Be everywhere. And then I would tell everybody else to do something. But Micah, you don't
get out of Micah's way.
You don't have a job. Your job is every job. Just go do it. And then when we think you're getting tired, we'll let you sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that whole moving him around thing and then putting him just on the defensive end, I feel like that backfired.
I would damn near put Micah Parsons at safety. Just let him see the whole damn field and go get football. Just Bobby Boucher his ass. Just tell him just to go get the football.
Yeah.
It's good.
Think of something that makes you mad.
That's right. You can't play the foosball.
That foosball's the devil, Bobby Boucher.
So I don't know how we went from there's your Mavs talk, everybody.
I mean, we went into Cowboys talk from Mavs talk, and then we got into Bobby Boucher talk.
So
Colby's probably never even seen that movie.
I've seen parts of it.
So you haven't seen the movie?
I've seen parts of it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was an Adam Sandler movie. Most people have seen parts of it.
Most people have seen the whole movie, Colby.
The Water Boy?
Yes. And Happy Gilmore.
I've seen most of it.
But you haven't seen the movie. It's not seeing the movie if you've just seen most of it. It probably not all at the same time.
No, but enough to connect it all together and know what's going on.
It's not how it works.
I don't watch.
You are to movie watching as Charles Darwin is to creationism.
I watch plenty of movies. Just may not be the same movies that everybody else. You know, like I watch plenty of like comic book stuff and action movies. I've probably seen nearly every action movie that's ever existed.
I mean, we ranked them. We did brackets on them.
Yeah.
And you didn't even like the way that came out.
No, it was dumb. It was dumb.
That's the way it goes.
So,
Do you have enough of news and notes to go now?
oh yeah, sure. I've
All right.
always got plenty of news and notes. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you, you, for making us sound good. News and notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
And by God, I found it. We're going to Californication.
Yes.
The Los Angeles, as a principal at the San Gabriel Elementary School, was put on leave. He was put on leave of absence by the district administrators after, dear God, after pretending to shoot kids and announcing that children were dead during an active shooter lockdown drill.
What?
So they're having an active shooter lockdown drill. But, you know, he decides elementary school to just firing off sounds of a gun and saying, that kid's dead, that kid's dead, that kid's dead, that kid's... What are you doing?
Let's just make it as real as possible. Dude, if I'm a parent, I'm freaking suing the school district.
Oh, yeah. For therapy, because my kid's
Yeah.
probably going to need it.
Yeah.
Oh, and more therapy because it's a California kid.
Jeez.
I have to
They
ask,
need all the therapy.
I have to ask to this guy, which I can't find his name. Maybe it was left off.
The shooter guy?
Yeah, the name of the teacher. But I would want to ask this guy, at what point did you think this was a good idea?
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'm sure a lot of these kids that he's like, you know, boom, you're dead, and boom, you're dead. I'm sure he's had that thought in his mind. Maybe they're asses or whatever. And he was just trying to live out some kind of fantasy. But come on, dude.
And what did you say at the beginning happened to him? He lost his job, right?
He's under administrative leave.
You think?
Yeah. Which is going to lead to you don't have a job anymore unless they're like really, really hard up for teachers.
And like you're unhireable, right? Like there's
Right.
no way he gets another job.
I mean,
somewhere.
you made the news. Well, you made news and notes, but somebody wrote an article for me to make this, for me to tell you this story. So it made it out there. So can you imagine? You're on administrative leave. This has never happened to me, and been on administrative leave. I've been fired from plenty of places. I've never been put on administrative leave.
Right.
But can you imagine going home and being like, man, I hope this blows over good, and then you just pull up the internet and there you are.
You're on the internet already. I think it's gonna blow over.
In the Gazette Extra? Oh, damn. Okay. I wonder all 7 people that read the Gazette Extra if they've already wrote me off as I'm fired. I guess I need to look for a different job.
Preferably where there's no children around.
So let's go. We're staying in California. We're going to Martinez, California.
This is the longest I've been in California, Colby.
The Martinez Refinery Company is reporting another. Means this happened more than once. Another accidental release of petroleum coke dust.
What?
So Contra Costa Health posted on social media about the latest instance, saying that they heard about the release on Saturday around 1:18 p.m. The refinery posted on the social media to say that a small amount of coke dust became airborne for a short period of time. Did they just... what are they doing with our fuels?
Snorting it?
It's just... Are we getting our fossil fuels from Colombia now?
it's where we get our Coke.
And do people just hang out next to refineries now, just hoping for coke dust?
I would.
I'm not sure what coke dust is. I'm not sure if it's actual dusting of cocaine just issuing out of refineries, but the health department sent a hazmat team.
Hazmat uniform.
Yeah. Don't count out the A's. Sent a hazmat team to look into potential off-site effects from the release. The department determined that there were no off-site impacts from the coke dust release. I wish this article told me what coke dust. I actually just pulled up this article because it said coke dust release, and I wanted to find out how's that happen. Is that like a sneeze from a junkie? Achoo! It's just a coke dust release, but there you go. So watch out, refinery people. There's cocaine in them there heels.
Oh, so apparently coke dust is a combustible and explosive hazard.
Yeah, sounds like cocaine.
Right? I mean, I usually get pretty explosive.
I don't know what happened. I snorted this white stuff. I've got a heartbeat of a hummingbird, and I do want to swim to France.
And back.
That's right. Let's go to Mexico City, where a plane carrying 4 Canadian skydivers. What are you doing in Mexico?
Yeah, you have mountains in Canada.
Yeah, you've probably got planes in Canada, too. 4 Canadian skydivers came down on a beach Sunday, southern Mexico, killing 1 man. It wasn't any of the skydivers or the pilot.
Did they land on somebody?
They landed on a dude just chilling on the beach.
I mean, it's not funny because he died. But,
No, it's not.
But what the hell?
How random is that? How,
Really trying not to laugh.
like...
They must be terrible skydivers. They can't control where they're going to land.
Well, the plane had some difficulties, and so they had an emergency landing. So they were like, well, we're going to land on this beach. Can you imagine being in the plane? You're about to do some skydiving, but they've got to land, right? So plane's going through some crap, which, by the way, I've already got a parachute on. Can I just get out?
That's what I was about to say. Wouldn't you rather just jump?
Just land this bitch in the ocean.
Yeah.
We'll all jump. I'm sure there's an extra parachute for you, Mr. Pilot. Let's go.
Or you're flying it. You can stay with the ship.
That's right, Captain. But no, so they landed on. I couldn't explain that to the family of the dude. So your brother passed. What happened? He went to the beach. Oh, and a shark got him. No, a plane.
Plane landed on him. Again, a guy died. I'm trying not to laugh here, but the situation is ridiculous.
I saw the headline and I was like, wait, because the headline is a plane carrying Canadian skydivers, which do I need to know they're Canadians?
Why does that matter?
Hits beach in southern Mexico, killing a man. It must not have been a very popular beach.
There's only one guy there.
There's one guy out there, and you happen to hit that one guy?
Wow.
Just.
What are the odds?
I can't imagine the obituary. I can't imagine explaining that to the family.
I'd kind of like to write that obituary.
You know what? I would like to hear, after I pass or whatever, and make it. I want to hear what was told to him on how he got there.
Yeah. So hey, by the way, wait, why am I here?
What happened?
You got hit by a plane?
I was on a beach. What do you mean hit by a plane?
I was drinking a margarita with my toes in the water. Sound asleep.
I didn't cover myself in sand or nothing. I was out in the open. Everybody could see me.
I wasn't camouflaged.
No.
Did they not see me?
I got hit by a plane. There's no airport nearby.
Oh, my gosh.
No, yeah, that'd be hard to somebody to explain to me. Let's go from there to Florida because, well, we find out a new thing that Florida's doing rather well. We've all seen the things about, as the new Godzilla movie's coming out and such, of the radioactive lizard that takes over the planet. Well, it may not be coming from Japan in real life. It may be coming from Florida.
Of course.
As nuclear crocodiles are living in Florida. And every word of that sentence is correct and not some kind of play on words.
This is not a drill.
They don't glow in the dark, but they do spend their lives in the canals outside of a nuclear power plant.
Oh my God.
And so in Homestead at Florida Power and Light, that's the Turkey Point Nuclear Power Plant, crocodiles, not alligators.
Right.
Not alligators. Crocodiles hatch and live in the canals that cool the steam from the plant and in the ponds created for reptiles. The nuclear waste and stuff is flowing through the crocodiles.
Haven't they seen movies?
What are you doing? Florida.
I mean, that's what Florida does.
So, when the Bible ends up being right and the beast comes out of the ocean, we now probably know it's going to be a nuclear crocodile.
It's a lot Florida, America's wang.
As it steps out, then stands up, and then starts the whole revelation thing to happen, Florida did it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're going through Armageddon, and no, I'm not talking about Bruce Willis chasing down a asteroid in space. I'm actually talking about the actual Armageddon. When we're going through it, effing Florida did it. Congratulations.
The crocodiles.
Planet of the Crocodiles Kingdom, whatever the hell. It's going to happen. They're just going to be walking around and being really pissed off at our boots and suitcases.
Oh, dear.
So, Florida man, we appreciate it. Thanks for nuclear crocodiles. Jackasses. And let's go from there. We're also in Florida as well. Know what else is hitting us? Via Florida? The bubonic plague.
It's back.
No, I didn't just bring up a medieval times reference to a disease. The bubonic plague, we've had our first case in the U.S. in a long-ass time. Florida, home of nuclear crocodiles, and now also home to the bubonic plague.
Plague. They're bringing back the plague, Colby.
So, what has happened is this particular lady who has got the bubonic plague. By the way, if you don't know what the bubonic plague does to you, let me read out some symptoms. At first, it kind of feels like the flu. And then you start getting the stomach cramps. And then vomiting, diarrhea, all the things. And then you start bleeding from orifices. Eyes, mouth, nose, ass, front plumbing. Red stuff starts coming out of it. And there you've got the bubonic plague. Congratulations. You know how this person
And you're going to die.
got the bubonic plague? She let her cat outside. The cat went out, carried the bubonic plague to inside, and then gave it to her.
So it's cat's fault.
Yes.
That's why we shouldn't have cats.
Apparently, animals can go get the bubonic plague and bring it to you, like you just said, fetch.
Fetch me the plague.
We're good for it.
I didn't know that it was still just out there floating around.
Yeah, apparently you just somewhere out there you can just go, oh, hey, look, I found the plague.
Don't give it to me.
The cat's outside and goes, hey, look at this. I found the plague. I wonder if my mom will like it. It's
Why are you
amazing.
bleeding out of your eyes?
Oh, no, what happened?
You know.
So that, now reading this, I was like, oh, crap. Because one of the night rituals that we now have at the house is I'll go lay down in the bed, go to sleep, and the cat will curl up in the crook of my arm. But not only do that, but she has to now also, which is not the greatest thing ever, she has to lick me twice on the face. Which, sandpaper tongue. It's not great. And then she thinks that because she sees the dog occasionally lick me in the face.
Yeah.
So she thinks now she has to do this because she's like a dog. So she's like, oh, thank you for letting me lay here. Here. And it's just, if she hits it more than 3 times, I swear skin's going to come off.
Yeah, you're bleeding.
So now I'm like, wait, is the cat trying to give me the plague?
Now you might have the plague, Colby.
So if y'all see me later and I've got the plague, you can blame my cat for that. And there's that thing and that's that thing. So, you know what? I couldn't stretch out news and notes for very much longer. That's about what I had.
It's fine. We can end it early.
So there you go, everybody. That's news and notes. And now I toss it to Tim to toss his salad.
Colby likes to toss my salad.
I don't. But I've heard he likes to have the salad tossed.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it down. I like a good salad, maybe with some ranch dressing or some Catalina, some Roquefort.
Is Catalina your second, go-to?
So, you know what? I haven't had Catalina dressing since I was a kid, right? My dad liked it.
Yeah.
Gerb brought a bottle of it up here one time because he brought some salad stuff, and he made a salad here in the studio.
Okay.
And he bought a thing of Catalina dressing. Well, he was flying out or something, driving out the next day, so he gave it to me to take home. Dude, I freaking went through that bottle in about 3 days making salads at home because I forgot how much I liked Catalina dressing.
It's just too sweet.
For you, it would be super sweet. See, I like the sweet dressings.
Yeah, I'm not down with the. Oh, I did find something. So apparently, in the produce section, you have that organic, vegan, whatever section that's there. But I haven't really tried anything that's out of that section. But right beside it, at the Albertsons that I go to, they have just refrigerated actual salad dressings.
Really?
That are the ranch that's there effing tastes like good ranch.
Yeah.
In a bottle. The rest of them taste so they actually make it with the buttermilk and stuff like that's in the bottle, and I'm like, thank God, because I've now gotten to the point where Hidden Valley and those kind of dressings are they're pointless because they all end up having the same taste at the end of that was salad dressing.
See, to me, Hidden Valley's different, but I get some of the generic and other ones that I've tasted. They all taste the same to me. To me, Hidden Valley is still the best ranch.
Well, you need to try this one.
No, I will for sure.
Yeah, because it's in the refrigerated section.
How much are they though? They probably cost $10 a bottle, right?
This one I bought was $5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Something.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So probably $5.99 because I usually round down. It's $5. It's $5.99. Well, it said 5 on it. We're good.
I'll give you
close.
5.
Yeah, you're haggling at the checkout line.
Just don't go to Whole Foods.
Unless you're there for Whole Foods things.
Idiots over at Whole Foods. Swear to God.
Idiots that go there thinking it's a regular.
Thought it was a grocery store. I wanted I wanted Theraflu. Don't go to Whole Foods for Theraflu because they're gonna try to sell you a bunch of stuff that doesn't help.
It would help. You just don't know that now.
Well, no, it's not. It's preventive stuff. It'll help me next year, not right now. It's literally what she said. Well, if you take this, you won't get it next year. I'm like, I need help now. I'm sick. Come over here. I'm going to cough on you on purpose and give you the plague.
I'm a cat. Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday with some more McCaffrey talk. And then I got to figure out what Colby's new nickname was that I forgot about tonight. I'm going to go back and listen to last Wednesday's show, get it all figured out, and start calling him by that. Probably rename the show. But, yes, be back 7 o'clock Central on the FanStream Sports app at fanstreamsports.com, and then later on your favorite podcast app. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.